Absolutely, absolutely. And now, this past week, RMS or Citizen TV has been big on the first of its kind, the African Road Cycling Championship that went down in Uasin Gishu, Elgeyo Marakwet, and Nandi counties, 5 days running. And of course, that action was live on Citizen TV. Let's take a look at the highlights of how the creme de la creme of the cycling competition battled for honors.
So there'll be a neutral zone, a short parade lap around the city centre before they go for
I know you are an expert because you cycled before. Probably take us through how this went down, a roller coaster of emotions, and basically what an assignment this was.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, actually. The first time this event has come to this country, so many people turned up for it. The atmosphere was amazing. At the finish line, there was a lot of partying and a lot of dancing, and a lot of other countries were also there, particularly the Eritrean fans. They were there in force. So it was something that was really big for this country. It shouldn't be taken lightly. And the organization as well, I have to say, was done very well. They were only given 6 weeks notice for this event to try and organize it. And that is no mean feat when you're closing all the roads and you're even removing road furniture, speed bumps, rumble strips and traffic islands. So really extraordinary job all the way around.
And Shitera, I know you don't cycle, do you? You don't cycle.
As a means of transport.
As a means of transport.
Brenda finished it.
But now, what do you think? Eritreans are really good cyclists compared to Kenya. Basically, we really struggled with this.
Not really good. I think everything, it's practice. They say practice makes perfect. So I doubt that they would challenge us if we really professionalized cycling. But as Brenda says, at home I have my black mamba, which I use to probably exercise or back at home to go to the market. So I didn't realize that cycling is a sport. But that is now a lesson to us Kenyans. We need to take it up. I was hoping that the Ministry of Tourism would pick this in a very big way, but so unfortunate that they didn't tap into it. They didn't see an opportunity into this of try to market Kenya. Citizen TV did a brilliant job, a job that has never been done by any local station, I think, in East and Central Africa. That is a first. And Emmanuel, Michael Kinyi, our cameraman, did a brilliant job. I think it's a benchmark. Anyone who wants to do such a thing will have to come back and see what Citizen TV did. But all in all, the Ministry of Sports, it's a challenge to you. Probably you saw Eritreans came in their numbers to spectate. They knew what they are presenting, and they won it. So I think the CS Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen, other than football, I think there is some sport in cycling that you really need to look for talent. And when the next cycle comes of the championship, probably we will put in some a good show.
Yeah, and just to add there, on the climate of cycling in Kenya versus Eritrea, I had a word with the ambassador for Eritrea the other day, and I asked, what's the difference here, and why are the Eritreans from the junior level all the way to the top, why were they winning almost everything? And he was saying that in Eritrea, everyone cycles, right? And cycling is like a culture in Eritrea. So that's really the difference here. Here in Kenya, of course, we'll say, a lot of people would think, is cycling actually a sport? Like, we don't really know that. So that's really the difference. And you obviously get many more youngsters getting into the sport if it was a little bit safer to do so on the roads. And if because also we had an accident, a death just last week on the roads of a cyclist. So these things will really turn people away from riding. but things like that need to change slightly to get more Kenyans riding more.
Emmanuel, you know, that is my home where runners come from. That is my home.
Just taking all the credits now.
But they want nothing.
Nandi is my home. That is my home, and showing everything, like all the cards, people showing it all over there, over the world. Like it was very beautiful. What do you think about the climate? Was it?
Actually, it was really conducive for good racing. The area has a lot of the major, long, steep climbs. It's really well known for that. Although most of those weren't really used so much this race, but there were still a lot of the rolling climbs that would actually open up the opportunity for many more different types of riders. We saw Mullerbrand take the win in the end, and he's a very good climber himself, also has a really good kick on him. And second place in the men's elite yesterday is known for his kick as well. If that was done in a bit more of those on the hillier side, he wouldn't have really had a chance to be as dominant or as performative in that event. So it was really good for cycling. Some flat parts and a lot of parts exposed to the wind as well. So that did play a part in the racing. So yeah, it's great for cycling actually, and yeah, it was
probably
awesome.
picking up from Emmanuel. I think on a serious note, I think. Also, the Ministry of Transport, it's involved with road construction, Ministry of Transport.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. We were in a same activity with Jeff like 2 weeks ago.
Yes, in Nairobi.
In Nairobi. And there were requests that we probably need to, when we are doing the roads, we factor in the cyclists, so that we can really cultivate the culture that Emmanuel is talking about. So again, the challenge is to the government that when we are doing this, you can create lanes where cyclists can use.
Absolutely.
And probably not necessarily for even keeping fit, but also for clean energy.
Steve, the thing is, our roads are substandard. That's what you're not telling us. Yeah. We just do it for the sake of it. Yeah. Because you see in Europe, you have a road, a motorist path.
Yes.
You have cyclist path.
And footpath.
And you have pedestrians path.
Yes.
That's the standard how roads should be made.
Yeah.
But in Kenya, we make it at Akuna, a stage for
so they are just like our stadia.
Yeah, our stadia are also substandard. Wakili, maybe your thoughts on this?
It's a good thing that we are starting to host our non-traditional sports. And in an era where we are talking about unemployment, we are opening up the country for other sports. And my main aim is how do we go to the IAAFs, the Olympics, the World Championships, all those things with just not athletics, because we have tried it with football, we have tried it with rugby, a whole story. But then now, if we are able to bag medals from these and at the same time provide employment, and now that maybe our roads have been how they've been because we copied everything from the West and did not copy the good side of it, I think having these, because as Zingine, they say necessity is the mother of invention. So it is now that we have cycling that we will make sure that the government should now come in and make sure that the roads are done.
2 seconds. And now we've known that baiskeli si ya kuenda tu kuleta chai.
And staying with that, Zita, rugby action went down at